Any other question, please? A little loudly.
I was wondering if you could talk about what we can do to form a school for our children here in America. Many of us now with small children become
That has been my primal problem here. I know, it's terrible, I know. It's going to be very difficult for you to have your children sent to these schools because the atmosphere is so bad. For the time being, I only feel that you must develop your children in such a manner that they become strong, self-confident, and also they have good examples before them, as you people are, to begin with. And you will find many Indian families are here. But what I have seen is that the children of at least 60% of Indian families don't learn bad things normally. This is my own experience. The reason is because the Indian family people are all the time talking to their children, having a nice family meetings together, taking them out, telling them about good things, of sharing. Because those people who are here from India have had that kind of a training, so they are trying to train their children in the same way. Now the families which are so-called advanced here can beat you hollow in nonsensical things. Because when it comes to advancement, they don't know how to relate it to anything else. But those who are not that way, those who have been going through a lifestyle, still maintain their own ideas and their own behavior, their own principles. They are imbibed by children. And they just think these are another category of people. These are not our style. These are different. They don't change. I've seen many families like that. In the same way, first of all, you must pay full attention to your children, talk to them, bring them up in such a manner that they have another value system. I mean, I can say about my own daughters or grandchildren, you put them anywhere in the world, they will never become like others because they have their roots. So you must try to make their roots very strong into great principles. Then they won't be that much in difficulty. Like as I was discussing today with people, that as I said, that Indian society has built up itself in traditional, ages it has built in traditions and things. So it must have made mistakes, trial and error and all that, but it has reached some very fine points. One thing about children in India, say, we don't tell them, don't touch this, don't take this, don't open this, never. We also don't allow them just to behave like a bull in a china shop. Supposing now I want to have a diet coke, all right? So I tell a child, all right, go and get 1 tin of diet coke. Now bring this glass. Slowly, because it is very good, so beautiful, you have to use it very carefully. Now keep it there. Now open the pan, put it in there. Now you have to bring it and give it to a friend or anyone. So the child carries it very carefully. But supposing it falls down, doesn't matter. We'll have another one. So the child develops the deftness of handling it, the respect for it, and not the sort of a fear of it. The cooking same way is today there was a big complaint about the way people cook here. And in the discussion then I reached a conclusion that the mother cooks that way. So what mother says, all right, the child doesn't sit in the TV room if mother is cooking in Indian homes. The child is in the TV, no, he's with the mother. The mother says, all right, now what you do, we'll cut some vegetables. I'm cutting, now you better do it. Now whatever is left out, which is not to be used for cooking, we have to put it in this thing. Now this has to go into the waste paper basket. And Indian kitchen is all the time clean, spick and span, every minute. Every room is spick and span. House. Outside what can we do? Is the government, the management, nonsense. I mean the people here think they are very clean. I think they are not, only the government is. The clothes are hanging here, this, that. In Indian homes, even in the poorest of poor you go, everything will be spick and span, clean. Because the child is told to keep it. Now, the child has, say, a paper in his hand. He won't throw it everywhere. Carry, take it to the... How? Because the mother will say, all right, now this paper is here. Where should it go? All the time the mother and the child are together, or the father. All the time, wherever. It's not that the children can't go to this place. Here the beginning itself is wrong. When the little child is born, you put him in another room and the parents are sleeping in another room. It's the worst thing that you can do to a little baby. That's how the child will become very insecure, unhappy, abnormal. In the subconscious, the child will have a very funny feelings. After marriage, after having children, the parents have to accept parenthood. They are still in the bridal dresses. Or the men are still saying, oh, they are romantic heroes going around. You are parents now. Otherwise, don't produce children. If you produce children, be parents. That doesn't mean you should become absolutely boring type people. But take interest in your children. Keep them with you all the time. Talk to them. Tell them how to behave. I mean, the behavior here of children is abnormally funny, I find. For that, one has to blame the training. And all the freedom is to be given to children. Now, the carpet is more important than child. A door is more important than a wall is more important than the child. Then what happens when the children grow up? I've seen. When they go to somebody's house, they start using everything as if they are own. In their house, they are very comfortably sitting. And also, every way you have restrictions on children, it sometimes shocks. Like I will tell you the example of my own granddaughter. She was telling me that, Nani, I had invited some girls for my birthday party. And you know, they liked it very much. And she asked me, can I have some more? I was surprised. It was all mommy had made for them and she had such a lot inside and she was enjoying the very tea. So they came and asked, can I have for some more? They are not beggars. They are children. They should rule all their wants. They should ask for what. But then you'll get some toys, put them. The toy is with the child. Child doesn't know the parents. Toys, fill it up with the toys. Then by the time you go in the garage, there's no place. All the toys are kept there. So the whole training system is wrong. You must take your child with you, you must take him out, you must show everything. Who else is going to teach them? I see a mother who is, say, a person who has done, say, MA in botany, and a child doesn't know what is a leaf and what is a flower. Involve them with yourself. You go to work, tell them what happened, today this thing happened in the work, this is what. They are something separate from you. How can they grow? At this time, they depend on you for all their nourishment, every time. And in that you have to teach them how to share things. But I think very little time is spent with children. It should be much more, much more. Continuously it should be. I mean, even my girls who are, one is she's 40 years of age. Even now she comes and sleeps with me in the morning time. She must hug me, sleep with me. And when I come, she cries like a little baby. What to do? I did the same with my mother. But I knew everything about my mother, and I knew so many things that she liked and what she didn't like and what should not be done. And there is such an attachment to the mother comes in and father. You don't want to lose that love. Once my daughter asked me, when she was in college, I want to wear sleeveless blouse. I said, go ahead, no harm. She said, but why don't you wear? I said, I feel shy. I feel shy to expose my arms. Then she said, immediately, then this is no criteria because I've asked you, you should say yes to me. No, that's not good. She herself corrected herself. So first, a complete integration of the children with yourself. Now the films, they have for films of children, for adolescents, then I don't know what else is there. No, all the films should be for everyone. But if you have to show filthy stuff, then you have to have it after 12 o'clock in the night. Why to see filthy stuff? Whatever your children cannot see, why should you see? It's not something very matured, is it? That you want to see and the children can't see. So the whole shifting starts. Like a mother is seeing the very mature thing is about God, is about some great incarnation of some philosophy. Children are also sitting. Then they start asking, what is collective consciousness at a very young age? What is Chaitanya? What is Omkara? The whole attention moves to something else. Otherwise you show them a thing for the children. In that they'll show you this doll coming today, that doll. Mommy, I must have that doll. Get them the doll and be finished with them. That's not the way. Bring their attention out of all these things. See, these all medias, everything, are working on your children morning till evening. Now they have a doll in America which even have a birth date. And then you have to join a club. Now for that club you have to pay so much dollars. And then you become a member of that. Then they write to you what is the name for the child and when was she christened and this and that. They are playing upon your children. And you are happy as long as children don't trouble you. And when they trouble you, in England, I don't know, in America, what do? They kill their children. Then the children kill them. The whole thing is upside down. India, it might happen if they become developed and advanced. So we are different people. We come out of it. Now let's start another way. Let's not identify ourselves with that nonsense. Let's be something extraordinary. Let's make our children something different. That's what is to be given to your children. Not money, wealth, toys, no. Personality, roots. You are their roots. If you are shifty like this, how do you expect your children to be all right? You have to nourish them. All right? So first of all, the education of the child starts with the father, mother and the family. And the respect for elders. Supposing your father is there, your mother is in the house, and if you will treat your parents, they will ill-treat you, naturally. This is a very interesting story. There was an old lady and she had a father-in-law who was very old. And the son always used to carry his broth in a bowl made of ordinary clay. And she used to treat him like a dog, the daughter-in-law. One day that broke. And this boy fell down and it broke and he started crying. So the mother thought he's very badly hurt the way he was crying. He said, no, I'm not hurt, but this thing is broken. So why are you crying for that? We can get another one. Said, sure, you can get another one. He said, yes. Because I was worried, how will I give you food when you will be old? That's what I was worried, that when I have to send you food, how will I manage? Then she understood. How you treat others, how you behave towards others, how you live neatly, clean ways and things, that's what children learn. Greatest thing, more than precepts, are practices. Here the husband-wife will quarrel, the presence of children, beat each other. Imagine. I've seen that. If you see any film these days, is the quarrel between husband and wife. Put this way, this way, that way. That's all. Get fed up of it. No respect, no love, no affection. Or some sort of a destruction. Then the children themselves don't want to see any picture. You see, when my daughters were small, I would only take them to religious picture like Shri Rama's life, this, that and all that. So they developed a taste for that. So when they went home to my mother's place, they said, we will not go to this picture. If there is any Ramas, Hanumanas, then we'll go. So my sister said, you see, first of all, we can't leave them alone in the house. You can't take them to any picture. They don't like any other picture but that of God's pictures. So, there are not so many. So what to do? I said, all right, why don't you also see with them the same? She said, but there are some nice social pictures. And they don't like it. So what sort of books you give them? What sort of things you talk to them? Always be with them, keep them with you. That's the best. Or even if they have to go to some school, it should be a school where there's love, affection, good company, they talk of Saj Yoga, sort of a thing. I wish we could start a school of Saj Yoga in America. But you know how difficult it is to start anything sensible. Everybody is afraid. But if you want to start a school of nonsensical things, they'll give you grants. It's very difficult. Even in England, same thing. Can't start a school. If you want to start some sort of a disco, it's very easy. Many schools are closing down in England. Actually, there was a school for sale. Wanted to buy in my own simple ideas. They said, Mother, first thing, why it is closed? I said, why? Because of the different rules and regulations, it is closed. I said, then your great grandchildren might be able to go to that school. It will take so much time. So first thing I'll say, you should look after your children. Tell them when it is wrong, you must tell them this is wrong, it should not be. Like your child doesn't respect others, you must tell them. If he spoils something or does something wrong to others, then you must tell. If he doesn't share things, you must tell, you must share your doll, you must share this. But when it comes to correcting him for nonsensical things, you should not. We'll see, it will change. Then later on, of course, we have to think of school and all that. We're trying to do something. Let's work it out, maybe. Then we'll take over. Basically, they should be all right. Otherwise they come to India and slap all the teachers. What's the use? It's not easy. Western children are not easy, to manage. Actually, then definitely they'll be frightened of Western children coming to India. Rather difficult. Because you must discipline them. And the main thing is they should like the discipline. They should want the discipline. That's how you should create. The stupid idea of freedom means license should go out of it. They should like it. I remember my parents, the way they disciplined us, we like it. Any child would remember that. Oh, my father, very particular. But here, they'll call a 12-year-old son. I know a friend of ours, such a shocking story. The lady came to, friend means in the official way, she came to London and she said, have you seen the pubs? I said, no. Wonderful, interesting pubs in London. I said, really? She had a list of them. She said, the best is this one. I said, what is so special? It's called as the Hermit's Pub. So what is great? See, a man died in this place. And people did not know for months together. Then the smell started coming out. So they came in, took him away and buried him. But all the cobwebs and all the smell is still retained. And that's the most expensive pub in London. I said, oh God, what's this going on? This lady said, we are very free with our children. We allow them to do what they like. And she had two sons, I think one was 12-year-old and one was 11-year-old. And these husband and wife were sleeping upstairs in America. These two children were having a party. The father had given them alcohol, beer, all open, drink, enjoy, we are one. And these children of that age group started drinking, and then I don't know what happened to them. They put fire to some alcohol and the whole house was burnt. One child ran out, 11-year-old. The mother, father, one son, all died, and so many children. This is no freedom. You have to teach your children discretion. You have to teach them. This is what one has to learn. So I think before starting a school for children, let us start a school for parents. What do you say? All right. What is next?